Wow. Wow. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Wow. Hey, listen, first things first, please do me a favor. Please like, share, subscribe. I know a lot of people consume the content in smaller version, but I do the long stuff for the purists. I do it for the love of the sport, and I love reporting. If you don't know this about me, I love reporting. If y'all hear some sound in my audio, I think my fan is going out on my laptop for some reason, and it just periodically makes sounds, but whatever. But we have a very interesting story. I want to stay consistent with dropping. My goal and game plan is to drop something every day for a year, some piece of content every day for a year, and so we continue to move forward. All right. First things first, Virginia. What the fuck is happening in Virginia? This shit crazy. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna start off right here.
Aiming largely on reducing the cost of living. Virginia Democratic lawmakers are now proposing a flood of tax increases and creating some new ones. 7 News' Nick Minogue breaks down how this could impact you and your wallet.
It's important to note that these are proposals at this point, and they're coming from members of the House of Delegates, and they have not been voted on yet. Here's a list of the many tax increases and proposals Democrats in Virginia are considering passing. They include additional local sales tax in all Virginia counties and cities, new personal property tax on electric leaf blowers and electric landscaping equipment, large employer tax, gun and ammunition tax, new income tax brackets, a delivery tax. This would hit you if you make an order on Amazon, Uber Eats, or an order that includes UPS, FedEx delivery, etc. here in Northern Virginia. There's also a tax they're looking at for events, concerts, an investment income tax, storage facility tax, gym membership tax, dog walking tax, dog grooming tax, counseling tax, digital personal property tax, new car taxes and highway use fees, an increase in the hotel tax here in Arlington. Statewide speed cameras. Now, these aren't taxes, but they would include more fines for some drivers, dry cleaning tax, home repair tax, and a vehicle repair tax. Political science professors Larry Sabato and Stephen Farnsworth believe not all of the tax increases will pass the General Assembly.
I think it's important to note that a lot of what gets proposed in the legislature never comes to pass.
But if they do pass, Sabato says Governor Abigail Spanberger should get involved.
The impression is terrible, and it contradicts the theme of affordability. She has the veto power, and there's item veto. There are a lot of things that she can employ, and they will be employed, because otherwise this will end up being the central criticism of her first year in office.
We're waiting for a response from Spanberger on if she plans to veto the proposed tax increases. We do know Spanberger isn't opposed to all tax and fee increases. Last week, Spanberger told lawmakers that Virginia will rejoin the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. That move would add a fee back on your electricity bill. Nick Minogue, 7 News.
Well, if there was a tax on snow.
Wow, we would have no personal property tax.
This shit is crazy. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, these shits is crazy. They want to tax your everyday life in Virginia. Like, see, that's sad as fuck. See, y'all voted for Spanberger. See, y'all ain't want to vote for the black woman. You ain't want to vote for the black woman. See, y'all don't care about black people. Black history, blah, 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 blah. Y'all don't care about black women. Y'all voted for Spanberger. And guess what Spanberger did in her Democratic Party that's taking over Virginia? Guess what they did? Well, let's show you what they did. Because I know you was probably like, damn, he ain't get proposed yet or he ain't get approved yet. Okay. Just understand. Y'all should understand how I do it. Here we go.
Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger unveiled her Affordable Virginia agenda in December. And yesterday, she announced that half of the bills in that plan have passed the House of Delegates or the Senate. 7 News on your side, Nick Minogue went through that list to see how much money they might save you.
Governor Abigail Spanberger is highlighting 11 bills making their way through the legislature, which she says will make life more affordable for Virginians. One she highlighted would allow people to own and operate small portable solar generators. Another would create an energy efficiency and weatherization task force to identify and address barriers some power company customers might face, enrolling in money-saving energy efficiency programs. Another would eliminate the tobacco surcharge on health insurance premiums. That could save Virginia smokers and smokeless tobacco users hundreds of dollars a year. But there's nothing stopping insurers from charging all of their customers more to make up for the loss.
House Democrats are laser focused on building an affordable Virginia. And that starts with tackling one of the biggest costs families face every month, housing.
Tuesday morning, House Democrats were asked if any of their proposals would lower housing costs right now.
I think we're trying to get at the supply piece to help meet up with demand and help lower those costs.
Experts suggest that it would take years to build enough homes to reduce rents or home prices. And there are signs the affordability honeymoon may be over for the new administration in Richmond. On Monday, when Governor Spanberger posted the big news on her Facebook page that Democrats are focused on delivering real relief for families, thousands of commenters pushed back, pointing to the 50-plus tax increases her party introduced in the opening days of this session. Many asking if this was her actual Facebook page or some kind of satire account. We couldn't find anything that would significantly lower costs or give quick financial relief to Virginians in any of the bills Governor Spanberger touted. But check for yourself. We put the links to all 11 bills in this story on our homepage, WJLA.com. Nick Minock, 7 News.
So her answer to making Virginia affordable is not get rid of all of these ridiculous ass bills, these ridiculous ass tax increases that they're trying to tax you on buying a fucking leaf blower. They're trying to tax you on buying regular everyday shit. She's not trying to do that. Instead, she's saying you could buy a solar generator. But let's see, did she veto Dominion Power raising your energy bill? Let's see that. Let's see if she helped us, the people, right? She helped Virginians. She helped Virginians come and combat fighting these fucking ridiculous prices that we're seeing every single time we go to pay your energy bill. Let's see if what the Democrats do. Let's do this.
Hey, so starting next year, if you're a Dominion Energy customer, that's where you get your electricity in Virginia, your electricity bill may be going up. The SCC in Virginia approved rate increases, so this means you might be paying more than $11 on your electrical bill starting next year, and a little more than $2 on top of that the following year. Dominion Energy requested the SCC to approve this rate increase because they're having to build new infrastructure to harden their electrical grid. New data centers are coming online in places like Loudoun and Prince William County, and so they're having to upgrade their infrastructure. That means new high voltage transmission lines, things like that. I spoke to a Dominion Energy spokesperson about why the increase.
The SEC also approved updated rates to reflect inflation and the rising cost of equipment like poles and wires and transformers, because Nick, you know, you need new infrastructure in order to continue bringing the to building the grid even stronger for reliability purposes. There is support for customers who may need assistance with their bills, because we recognize that these changes will impact families. So we're offering a lot more assistance and energy saving programs than ever before.
Hey, so starting next year, if you're a Dominion Energy customer, that's where.
Let's see how that translate all of that bullshit. She's saying that they need better poles, better transformers, better infrastructure overall, right? Let's see if all of that translated to $11 increase on your bill. Let's see that, because there are people coming in and showing that their bill is now double. Their bills are now double. Watch this.
From last year, what it was?
Yeah.
But in February, and then this, you go, What happened?
Deborah Stroud is talking about her energy bills. In Henrico County, January 2025, she spent $352. A year later, it's a $694 price tag, almost double.
I can't afford this. I don't have that kind of money.
She's retired and on a fixed income, already struggling to make ends meet. Stroud uses solar energy and heats her home with a heat pump, but does not have an auxiliary that bumps up the cost when the cold weather arrives.
It can't get out of whack. Something like that really, takes away anything else. Plus, at the beginning of the year, I have my medications and stuff.
Stroud is looking for answers to the same questions thousands have been asking.
Is this what we're going to be looking at for the rest of the year and from now on out? If it is, there's going to be a lot of elderly people that can't afford it.
I took that concern to the governor herself.
What immediate action are you looking at taking?
So the rising cost of energy has been an issue that has been continuing to be of greater and greater importance across the Commonwealth. As governor, I worked with the General Assembly to have priority bills focused on lowering costs in energy. Those bills so far have been moving through the General Assembly. So there's a variety of good bills that are moving forward, focused on newer technologies, particularly high-strength battery storage that will ensure that we can contend with some of the real peak moments that can be a root cause of driving up those costs. But my administration is also working to ensure that affordability is a cross-secretariat priority.
Stroud says until the costs go down, she's having to make tough choices.
A $300 jump or a $400 jump, that hurts us. That means we have to cut out something else.
I reached out to Dominion about the unusually high January energy bills. A spokesperson tells me the weather, the increasing cost of grid equipment, and fuel are reasons why your energy bill may be higher. For CBS 6, I'm Taylor Locke.
So not only are you paying for the actual bill, you're paying for what you're using. You're paying on what they got to use to get it to you, to supply shit to you. You got to pay for the poles. You got to pay for the wires. There's no cost that comes out of their pocket. They're making you pay. Like, let me give you an example of how ridiculous that sounds to me. That's like you have your own business. Let's say your business is you change car tires. You're putting the cost on you. You set a price already for how much you want to charge to make back everything you have with your car tire. But now you wake up one day and say, you know what? Let's double it. Why? Because the weather one day, it's getting super hot outside. People are using more tires. We got to go to the store and buy more tires. So I might as well double the price of the tires. Instead of making this $30 tire change, it's going to now be $60. Why? Just for vibes. As a business, do you not think you're going to lose customers? See, here's the problem. The problem is Dominion has a monopoly on energy in Virginia. See, you can't lose customers as Dominion because there is no other power source in Virginia. So it's different when you have a company that raises prices because customers could say, fuck you, we're going to go to the cheaper prices. Here, it's a monopoly. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do, and they have the government backing them. And the governor's response is, go get some solar power, fuck nigga. Go get some solar energy. We're going to make sure y'all got batteries. Get some panels. You need to start thinking about cost efficiency. You need to. How the fuck is what crazy? It's crazy. It's the same governor that went out her way to undo a bill. Matter of fact, let me play that because this is going to be very important of what I say next. Let's do this.
I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about an executive directive that I issued as well as an executive order. Certainly, as we have seen conversations surrounding tactics of federal agents, particularly ICE, both here in Virginia and across the country. I think it's extraordinarily important to make sure that we are celebrating and honoring and recognizing the strong vetting, the strong training, and the incredibly high standards that here in the Commonwealth of Virginia we hold our law enforcement agencies to. So I issued Executive Order 12 that is focused on recognizing the values of policing here in the Commonwealth of Virginia and ensuring that there is clarity across the Commonwealth as it relates to basic principles that public trust is essential to the ability to conduct quality policing, and that public trust is essential both to keep members of the community safe as well as to keep law enforcement safe, and that you earn public trust, and it is something that is frankly and tragically far too easy to lose. And so here in the Commonwealth, we want to make sure that we're making a clear line in the sand about what is expected of our law enforcement officials. Separately, but very relatedly, I issued Executive Directive number 1, and that is a follow-on directive to Executive Order 10. On the first day in office, I repealed and pulled back from what had been my predecessor's Executive Order 47, which mandated the work of Virginia state law enforcement agencies with ICE. On day 1, I said that is no longer mandated, and after a review of what equities and what 287G specific relationships exist and are in place, I have put forth Executive Directive 1 that directs all state agencies to end any 287G agreements that exist between those agencies and ICE. Importantly, this does not apply to other large-scale law enforcement task force issues. This is specific to 287G. And importantly, anytime there is a judicial warrant in hand, state and local law enforcement should be, and the expectation is that they are cooperating with any other law enforcement agencies that might need their assistance and support.
Cool. Let's go to Greg first.
Have you heard anything from the Trump administration on this subject? And do you have any concerns that they will view this as an invitation to send ICE enforcement into Virginia?
Well, so I spent the morning with the Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police, where I spoke to them and relayed to them first that I was coming out with this executive order and this executive directive. So I will say I have not been on social media recently to see what responses may exist. But importantly, my whole goal is that as we are seeing challenges in the discussions about what is policing here in the Commonwealth or elsewhere, that in Virginia, as governor, I am celebrating, honoring, and recognizing the high standards that not just the community holds our law enforcement officers to, but importantly, chiefs and members of our law enforcement agencies do as well.
Is she from Virginia? Like, is she from Virginia? I don't know nobody from Virginia that says the police does a great job. I'm not saying that they do a bad job. I'm saying I don't know anybody that's like the people of Virginia, and I've lived in Virginia for some time now. X amount of years, like for a while. I've lived in Virginia for a while. Shout out to the military. But being in Virginia, I don't hear this response. I hear bullshit response. And speaking of policing, speaking of something happening in Virginia that should have been dealt with a entirely different way. Since we speaking of shit, Abigail, see, since she said this about ICE, you have a whole new wave in Virginia of motherfuckers are supposed to hate ICE now. What the fuck ICE got to do with the crime that's happening in fucking Norfolk? But let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Since y'all don't want to talk about taxes, y'all don't want to talk about taxes, y'all want to talk about ICE, let's talk about ICE. Fuck it.
Students continue to take a stand across Hampton Roads, and another day of walkouts. Some students at certain schools skipped class to send adults a message. They are protesting against U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, activity across the country. One Booker T. Washington student shares the message with 10 on Your Side's Ethan Krause.
Students here at Booker T. Washington High School in Norfolk were just one of several student bodies who decided to make their voices heard today through a walkout in protest of ICE.
I would say the turnout was really great.
18-year-old Tremaine Spruill is the senior class president at Booker T. Washington High School. He says he and his classmates decided to take part in the nationwide movement of school walkouts in protest of ICE.
More and more students were finding out about it, and when it came to Booker T, the principal, Mr. Mason, we have a great principal, by the way, Mr. Mason, he told me that it would be very facilitated and very calm and organized, and it was.
In addition to the students at Booker T, students at Granby, Lake Taylor, Maury, and Norview High Schools, as well as Norview Middle School, participated in their own walkouts. Just across the river, students at I.C. Norcom High School in Portsmouth were seen participating in a walkout of their own, holding signs as they walked around the school's football field. Spruill says it's inspiring to see others his age making their voices heard.
So doing something that we can all participate in together and one day at one time, it really does help not only just for the cause, but the community as well. I want to thank the administration and the faculty at Booker T for allowing it to be as peaceful as it was. I want to thank even all the students that are not at Booker T, Norview, Lake Taylor, Maury, wherever, I see Norcom everywhere. I just want to say thank you to you all for actually participating in something with purpose.
Spruill went on to tell me how he and other students feel knowing that ICE is in their community.
Bringing, evildoers into our community, it doesn't do good for anyone's mentally. It doesn't do good for anything really. And I am devastated that that the government even allows this to happen. So it truly is depressing and devastating, especially in our community.
In Norfolk, Ethan Krause, 10 on your side.
See, but I'm tripping when I give y'all story after story after story, how people are in positions of power and are abusing our children's minds, abusing our children physically, abusing our children spiritually, abusing everything about our children. Where's the police at? Now, if you decide to keep your kid out of school after your kid has been registered in school, if you decide to pull your kid out of school, you could go to jail. But if the fucking principal team up with the fucking student, fuck the parents, mind you. This was an agreement between the top motherfucking official at Booker T. Washington. Just understand, the principal at Booker T. Washington in Norfolk is allowing your students to skip school and do whatever the fuck they want to do. What? That don't sound like he needs to get fucking fired? That don't sound like some charges need to be brought up? What the fuck are y'all kids going to school for? If the principal can wake up one day and just say, it's okay for the students to just walk out of class. What's the point of y'all? What is this? But y'all marching that. You saying that this little black boy, look at this little black boy. Look how confused he is. He's saying that y'all are bringing evil people here. No, it's evil people already in Norfolk. Let me show you. Let me show you how evil is already in Norfolk. Black History Month.
Also tonight, new reporting on a high-profile double shooting over the weekend in Norfolk. 32-year-old Larry Jackson is charged with murder and other crimes after the shooting Saturday at the Church's Chicken on East Princess Anne Road. 10 on your side's Nick Broadway follows up with what he found out from the courts today.
Church's Chicken on Princess Anne is still closed after a fatal shooting over the weekend. As per the plan originally posted on their door, they do not reopen until tomorrow.
Closed until February 11th. Inside, the tables are clean, the lights are on, yet the counter and seats are still empty. Drivers, perhaps following a lunchtime routine, entered the silent drive-thru thinking they could get a bite to eat. As we reported to you over the weekend, police say 32-year-old Larry Jackson shot 2 workers inside Church's Chicken right before noon on Saturday. Prosecutors say he stole the register till, then stole a car and sped away before eventually getting arrested. 47-year-old Sherrod Rogers died at the hospital, and a 53-year-old woman was shot, expected to recover. Jackson was arraigned in court yesterday morning. Court documents say he appeared catatonic for most of the hearing, unable to answer questions or pay attention. They decided to hold him without bail. Those court filings say Jackson is homeless. He refused to provide information about himself to police, other than saying he's lived in this region his whole life. We've reached out to Norfolk police to ask about the condition of the woman who was shot and sent to the hospital. They tell me her injuries are still non-life-threatening. Larry Jackson declined our request for a jailhouse interview. Court records show he has a lengthy criminal history, including several drug-related cases and fleeing from police. Jackson is due back in court in late March. Reporting in Norfolk, Nick Broadway, 10 on your side.
The demons are already in Norfolk. The demons are already there. Why are you worrying about ICE? The demons, the devil, the evil is already there. Hell, you should be wanting ICE to get these motherfuckers out of here. Shit is crazy. Let's talk about Richmond, though. Let's talk about where Spanberger is at. Let's see if she gonna help curve all this shit going on in her city.
Greg, we're just learning the name of the female victim, the adult female here on scene. She was down here in Shockoe Bottom celebrating her brother's birthday. Her mom, a grief counselor by trade, now dealing with unimaginable grief herself. It is 23-year-old Genesis Jones is her name. Again, she was down here celebrating her brother's birthday when gunfire rang out about 2:45 this morning. She was not in the mix of people arguing, I'm told. She's an innocent bystander that was walking through Shockoe Bottom, according to sources, when she was hit by gunfire and pronounced dead here on scene. There's also another adult male that was pronounced dead here on scene, and 7 others that were shot in Shockoe Bottom this morning in a mass shooting incident, a mass casualty incident here in downtown Richmond. Those 7 others, 4 of them were taken by ambulance to a local hospital. 3 others arrived at a hospital with gunshot wounds in personal cars. And now what you have behind me is police trying to sort all of this out. There's obviously a lot of video down here in Shockoe Bottom. This is one of the main economic engines of the city, so there's a lot of cameras around. Detectives going through those cameras trying to find out what they can find as information as far as who the suspects may have been in this. We did speak to some bartenders that are at a bar in 18th and Franklin. They were telling me it sounded like automatic gunfire. It got closer and closer. Their patrons were ducking behind the bar for safety. It was mad chaos down here in downtown Richmond about 2:45 this morning. Now the process of investigating this continues. They're collecting evidence here on scene. There are secondary casualties as far as cars that have been shot up down here. Detectives have to go through each one of those cars, pull bullet casings out of it for evidence collection. So it's going to be quite a time down here that they have these streets shut off. I'm at 17th and Main Street. It goes clearly up to 19th and Main Street this way, and then it also goes down towards Franklin, 18th and Franklin. So a very large crime scene to process out here, Greg, and as you can imagine, they are in the early stages. Even though we're 3 hours, 4 hours into this, they are still in the early stages of talking to witnesses and collecting evidence here on scene. Reporting live in downtown Richmond, John Burkett, CBS 6 News.
I'm sure if the taxes meant getting rid of the vicious murders, the homicides, all of the craziness that's happening in Virginia, I'm sure if the taxes meant that, I'm sure people would pay the taxes happily. People pay the rising energy bill happily if it was safer. So you're telling me you have a place that's dangerous as a motherfucker, and now it's going to be on the same level as California tax-wise? And that's not even talking about the state tax increases, the state tax income increases. That's not talking about all the other shit, in sales tax increases. What the fuck? Shit crazy. Y'all got to start voting. Y'all got to at least start voting or stop voting for bullshit. Y'all should have known she was going to be some bullshit when you seen her name Spanberger. Y'all should have felt it in y'all spirit. I ain't never seen a motherfucker named Spanberger. Sound like Spamburger. I don't like spam. I don't like none of that. I don't like none of that shit. But hey, y'all wanted to vote for that motherfucker. And guess what? Let's see how long she got. Let's see how much crime is stopped. Because as of right now, her first, month, 2 months has been nothing but tax increases, death. And principals allowing the students to protest ICE. These are the three things that has been a part of her administration. I don't know what the fuck else has been. And rising energy bill. Everybody energies went up. So yeah, you seen your energy hike up. Thanks, Spanberger. I'm out. Wah.